Hi, welcome back to CS 170. We're going to pick up from where we left off before with pivot tables. Now we're going to just do Excel tables. Let me switch this up a little bit here. So, brought up the vegetables sheet here. Just slide this over a bit. And so they basically are using the vegetable sheet, which I was telling you from the modules up on Canvas. Just as a reminder for people, let me see here, modules. And we have the vegetables here. Vegetables here. So that's what I pulled up here. And see, I'm up on the insert, and then I have a table here. So being here, it kind of just automatically figures out that this is a table or a range that you could put it for this table. And then you just have this little checkbox here to say it has headers, which is this, right? So product, category, amount, date, and country. And that's what you have here. So while I'm on here, you can do different things under the table design. And you kind of see it's this, but I can change it to this. It's just a color thing here, whatnot. And then here you have the checkbox for the header row. You have the banded rows, right? That's not banded. It's kind of good to have the banded. It kind of helps you to look from left to right. If this is like a large table, sometimes you go cross-eyed trying to line everything up. So doing the banded tables helps you to look from left to right across on everything. Let me see here. Well, let's do this. You see that? That was bolding it out, makes it kind of stand out a little bit. Same thing here. And then you can do this on the columns. All right, so it depends on kind of like what you want to line up. If you'd be looking things across a lot, then you kind of like this. If you're going kind of up and down a lot, then you'll kind of like the column side of it. Okay, and the filter button is these guys here. Okay, so this looks pretty much like what you saw if I did the data on this. So like the data, and then there's like a filter here. So there's a couple of different ways. Like I was saying at my last lecture, there's a lot of ways. Once you get like a table of data together like this, and it's relatively good in terms of, you know, consistency up and down, no blank rows and things like that, duplicates, then you can kind of do all kinds of different ways of making a table. So let me just go here and see if I go back to here. You remember we did the pivot tables here, and see if I can, where's the undo for the table here? Oh, this is showing you the insert in the table here. So you have the header row, the filter, and the bandit, all this kind of stuff here that we were just doing. And convert to range, that's what I was looking for. Where's that convert to range here? Oh, here we go. All right, so this takes it back out, and so it's not a table anymore. And then if I go to data here, and I do filter, then you can see I can do different things, pretty much similar to the table. So I can do the sorting, I can pick specific values to filter on, and the behavior will still be the same. So there's a number of ways to approach this. So what we happen to be covering now is just the table side of things, but I didn't have to do a table. I could have done it as a filter, okay? But similar to like a named range or something like that, let me unfilter this. There's just different ways to pull these together and work with it, slicing and dicing it, grouping it, and whatnot. Let me do this. Get the named range here. Here we go. All right, so what should we call this? Product range, maybe? Okay. So you see what happens over here? So it's just another way to reference this, right? So if I'm here, if I want to do something that works on a range, I can say something like A1 colon, and what is this, E101, right? And that'll be the range. Or I can refer to it as this, right? And so let's demo what that actually looks like. So E, V, with my equal sign. V lookup. And what do we want to look up? Well, I shouldn't really do this, but I'm going to do the, let me see, I'm going to do this, and then I'm going to do, for the table array, I'm going to decide, what did I call that? I called it, I think I called it product. No, yeah, I call it product range. There we go. That's nice and helpful. Like that. And you see what happened there? By me just typing in product range, that's all the named range is. It's just like another label for the same range. I could have done the A1 colon E101 to define this range, or because now I create this name range, now I can call product range like that. And see, and what's the next thing? Then I have to do the column index, so it will be column 2, like that. Okay. So basically, I put in the lookup for bananas, and it came back with fruit because I was looking at column 2. Okay. Ideally, for a VLOOKUP, I shouldn't really be doing this because you see what happens here. I have multiple here, right? But it just happens for the case that I'm doing it. It kind of works out okay because no matter which of these bananas I get, I'm going to get back a fruit. Okay, but that's not always the case, obviously. So this is a very limited case that I just did for you. It was just to demonstrate how to do a product range and refer to it just like a normal range or table range. But when you do a VLOOKUP, don't do it the way I just did it here. It just worked out correctly the way I did it, but that's not there's obviously can have some issues. Let's say I want to look up for this column. Now you can see I look up bananas. You can see there's different numbers here, so it's not good. You wouldn't want to do that. Okay, so let me clear this out. But hopefully that gives you an idea about the named range. That's one of the topics that you should understand for Excel. And let me put the table back on here. And table. Like that. And here we go. We're back to this. Do that. Wonder why it's only the top part here. Yeah, looks like I'm having some flaky issues here with the coloring. But still, it's working as a table. Might have to reboot this sucker. And so that's the table. Okay. So we want to do a formula. So you want to do a formula amount less than 10%. So where's that? Oh, well, it's doing a different thing. It's doing stuff with aircraft here. And then we have formulas vegetable, add a column less than 10%. So these things don't actually match up here. So let's do this formula here. We'll do this at 10%. So equals, where are we at here? And you remember the last time we did something where I can look at something as the amount minus 10%, or I can look at it as the amount times 90%. So that's what I'm going to do here. I'm going to do a 90% like that. Okay, so it's just two ways to look at it. Of course, 100% is 100%. If I tell you there's 10% discount off of it, I can also say I'm just taking 90% of that value. So this 558, I'm going to take 90% of it for my 10% discount. Okay, and well, hopefully these should all be 10%. Yeah, it's all 10%. Okay. Yeah, so I don't know why like all of these other columns didn't refresh properly, but you can see when I created a new column, it came in with the right blue coloring across each of these. So I'm not sure what's going on. I think it's because my memory is low on low on memory or something. Guess I should get a new computer. Let me see what's the next thing here. Oh, and then there's a total row at the bottom. So where are we at? We're at table design. Where's the total row? We put a total row, and you have a total at the bottom, like that. Okay, which is this subtotal here. Okay, I should actually cut another video to talk about subtotals. There's actually something special about doing subtotals here, so we'll do that in another video. Here, yeah, that's a good point. So we have this here. So if for some reason you want to do an average, then you can do something like that. Average, max, something like that. Okay, so the standard type of stuff that's available here when you put this total at the bottom of your table. Okay, so let me leave it at that for this video. The next video I'll come back and I'll do subtotals.